Second-hand houses in Beijing are no longer available. The number of listings has surged and house prices have dropped significantly. Beijing's property market, which is known as the most stable, has recently been on the hot search due to price cuts. It seems that second-hand houses cannot be sold, and there are many people who are willing to come to see the houses. How many property owners have already lost money? There is a huge war on selling houses and reducing prices. This war is full of smoke, and it has a tendency to become more and more intense. In 2023, the real estate market has undergone great changes, both in terms of policy adjustments and the real estate market situation. Since the property market situation is not as good as expected, various cities are introducing real estate policies to adjust. Some policies have had a certain effect on the direction of the property market, but they are still not as good as expected. According to property market data, the number of second-hand house listings in most cities across the country continues to rise, with the number of second-hand house listings in Beijing approaching a record high of 170,000 units. According to relevant data, in October, the transaction volume of second-hand houses in Beijing declined. A total of 11,000 units were sold, a decrease of 25.3% month-on-month and a slight decrease of 5.0% year-on-year, mainly due to the number of housing listings continues to rise, leading to an increase in second-hand housing supply in the property market, which in turn leads to an increase in the number of home buyers waiting to see. It is understood that the transaction volume of second-hand houses in old communities is almost uninterested, judging from the second-hand house listing data. The number of second-hand house listings continues to rise, with a total of 169,400 units, setting a record high. At present, the number of second-hand housing listings in Beijing continues to rise and may break through historical highs again in the future. The small two-bedroom apartment my friend gave away to his home in the South 3rd Ring Road has been on the market for half a year, but it still rarely sells. Recently, an agent came to him and persuaded him to lower the price directly. My friend complained to me that if I asked for 10% more, this house would not be sold for 3 million. This is a place with complete commercial, medical and educational facilities around the 3rd Ring Road. He doesn't plan to lower the price. If it doesn't work, he will rent it out. The listing price of a 238 square meter, 4-bedroom, 2-living house in King Hadian has dropped from RMB 38 million in Xiaoyangshan to the current RMB 32.9 million, a drop of RMB 5.1 million in half a year. Beijing's second-hand housing has indeed dropped in total, with prices falling significantly. Even sub-new luxury homes in the core areas of school districts have experienced a drop of more than 10%. In the past few days, Beijing's second-hand housing market has seen a lot more luxury homes with a total price of more than 50 million yuan, from the 23rd of October to 25th. After combing through the latest data from multiple platforms, we found that 2 second-hand luxury homes were listed in Maoyu and Jingdao, Fengtai district, with a total price of 55 million yuan and 70 million yuan respectively. A luxury house with a total price of 95 million yuan is listed in Qingqin, Xiangshan, Hadian district. A house with a total price of 50 million yuan is listed in Yushu, Linfeng. There is also a new house in Zhuchman, Zicheng district, with a total price of 55 million. You need to go to an agent. Wang Mu's recent priority is to help an owner who has been developing abroad for a long time sell a second-hand finely decorated villa in the West 3rd Ring Road. This is the 7th time price reduction. At present, I came back from abroad and asked to sell my house. In the near future, the price is already 5.8 million yuan lower than the rough house of the same type. Find a house according to Shell. Currently, the number of second-hand houses listed in Beijing is around 144,000 units, with prices starting at 7 million yuan. An owner of Sun Park in Chaoyang district lowered the listing price of his 295 square meter house from 50 million yuan to 47 million yuan on the 25th of October. Judging from the data, the price of this house was raised to NT $52 million in August 2022, then lowered to NT $50 million in March this year, and then lowered to NT $48.5 million. On the 19th of October, yuan was lowered to NT $47 million on the 24th of October, and then raised to NT $50 million. It was readjusted to NT $47 million on the 25th of October, and on some exchange platforms luxury real estate agents are also sparing no effort to shout, "Man, Beijing bought it for 75 million yuan in 2021 and spent 3 million yuan on furniture. In order for my children to go to school, I can only sell this house." The 7 million yuan needed to renovate the villa in Chaoyang district is no longer available for immigration. It's tricky because the owner is too anxious. In order to sell the house, all the tenants were cleared out. The price of the large garden villa on the 3rd Ring Road was reduced by 7 million yuan. The urgent sale copy was very exciting. Zhang Jingjing is a real estate consultant for a luxury house agency in Beijing. According to him, in 1 week in September this year, 3 units were sold at number 8, Campus Road, a luxury building located in the first echelon of Beijing's flat floor apartment complex. In the past 3 years, a total of 40 units were sold, including 19 units in 2021 and 2 units in total. 10 units were sold in 2022, and 11 units have been sold in 2023. Full stop. Wang Mu is a channel intermediary. Recently, his first task is to help an owner who has been developing abroad for a long time sell a second-hand finely decorated villa in the West 3rd Ring Road. It has been the 7th price reduction since the quotation. He came back from abroad specifically and required that the house must be sold in the near future. The price is already 5.8 million yuan, lower than a rough house of the same type. After inquiry, we learned that the price of this house including parking space is 33 million yuan, and the floor area is about 340 square meters. However, refer to the same quote of 33 million yuan on the third-party intermediary platform. This project currently has a 319 square meter low floor rough house listed with a reference value of about 342 square meters area interval. In this project, there is a set of well-decorated houses with a price of 39.6 million yuan on the market, which can be viewed at any time. The owner of the house requires that it must be sold within the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The owner is anxious. Wang Mu often talks about it after making an offer. Judging from the contents of his circle of friends, Diaote No. 7, which is known as the most luxurious house in western Beijing, currently has a 4-bedroom apartment on the market with a quoted price of 76.99 million yuan. The focus is on decoration of 20 million yuan, and for the only brand new house in the community. The agent called me every day to lower the price. According to the monitoring of the Zhuge Housing Data Research Center, the number of second-hand homes listed in 14 key cities in September 2023 was 2.8255 million units, an increase of 9% month-on-month and a year-on-year increase of 9%. 64.62 in September. Key cities have successively implemented the policy of recognizing a house but not a loan, and the demand for selling one and buying one has increased. In order to enjoy the first home purchase discount, owners have listed their houses one after another, driving the number of listings in the short term increase. On the 43rd day of this year, from the 16th of October to 22nd, Beijing's second-hand housing transactions were 2,824 units, a month-on-month increase of 9.63%. The average price of second-hand housing market was 61,531 yuan per square meter, a decrease of 4.74% from the previous month. According to data from Centerline Real Estate, in September 2019, September 2020, September 2021, September 2022, and September 2023, the transaction volume of second-hand houses in Beijing was 1 respectively. There are 12,319 sets, 17,259 sets, 12,575 sets, and 14,329 sets and 14,262 sets, and as of October 22 sets. According to data provided by the Termination Research Institute, the transaction volume of second-hand housing in Beijing in October was 6,258 units, which is still far from 10,000 units, according to Zhuge House Search. In October 2022, 11,209 second-hand residential units were sold in Beijing, a decrease of 20.85% from the previous month. Judging from the number of listings, Chaoyang District currently ranks first with 46,149 listings, followed by Fengtai District with 25,520 listings. In terms of month-on-month changes, Dongsheng District ranked first in terms of listing volume, with a month-on-month increase of 12.8%, while Taipingdu District ranked first in decreases, with a month-on-month decrease of 3.01%. Prices are reduced within 24 hours on the housing search platform. It can be found in the listings that among second-hand houses with a total price of more than 5 million yuan, the price has been reduced by 100,000 to 200,000 yuan, and owners in this range account for the majority, such as the third phase of Xinxiandi community in Beijing. The price was quoted at 5.95 million yuan when it was put on the shelves on the 14th of September, and has since been lowered to 5.89 million yuan, 5.85 million yuan, 5.78 million yuan, until the latest price of 5.66 million yuan, 10,000 yuan, in about a month. The owner's psychological expectation has dropped by 290,000 yuan. My house has been listed for less than a month, and my agent called me every day to ask for a price reduction. However, the price I listed was obviously the lowest in the whole community. Capital I lost hundreds of thousands of yuan compared to 4 years ago. Now it has dropped by another 200,000 yuan. Everyone. It's not easy to replace anything. On the 24th of October, Li Yan, a second-hand house owner in Fengtai District, Beijing, said that the market situation has become even worse since October. So now it's all about selling whatever happens, and living in it if it doesn't sell. On the home buyer side, it's a different story. In the past 2 days, a blogger who shared that he spent 380,000 yuan on buying a house in Beijing went viral on a certain social platform. He posted that the agent found the 4 lowest priced houses that met my requirements and communicated with the sellers. During this period, the intermediary repeatedly confirmed my psychological price. I always quoted the lowest price in the community this year. No matter whether the intermediary said it was genuine or fake, I would not buy it if it was impossible. If I had no money, I would not buy it. Full stop. Talking about this experience, the blogger said that it was actually completely psychological debt that reduced the price to my quoted price plus 30,000 yuan. Only then did I start to increase the price, but the other party stopped making concessions and finally added 20,000 yuan to my quoted price. I bought this house with the same type of apartment, the lowest price in the past 2 years. It is a basic operation to directly bargain for 300,000 yuan these days. Some home buyers said, yesterday, the intermediary told me that I can now view the house and sell it. I was given a house with a net profit of 5.7 million yuan and a discount of 700,000 yuan to 4.99 million yuan. The transaction was too high. If you feel good, start checking houses repeatedly and wait for the opportunity. Capital I just saw that a house I was paying attention to a week ago was selling for 200,000 yuan per second. So it is really urgent to sell your house now. The Data Research Center said that under the current background of declining transaction volume and lengthening transaction cycle, the price game between buyers and sellers is still continuing, while the second row volume remains high and continues to hit new highs. The accumulated price-adjusted houses on the market have the supply will gradually increase, and with the increase in cost-effective and high-quality housing in Hangzhou, The market will also have a strong desire to sell as soon as possible to recover funds, which is expected to drive wait-and-see customers to enter the market. In addition to Beijing, the number of second-hand house listings in other cities is also increasing day by day. For example, the number of second-hand houses for sale in Shenzhen is as high as 58,493 units. The number of second-hand houses for sale continues to increase and reaches a new high. The number of second-hand housing listings in Hangzhou has exceeded 170,000 units, reaching the mark of 170,500 units. The number of second-hand housing listings in Shanghai has also exceeded 90,000 units. At present, the number of second-hand house listings in major cities is on the rise, which to a certain extent has led to the decline in second-hand house prices. The surge in listings is probably due to a variety of factors. Yes, it includes market economic policies, etc., and the situation in each city is different, which is also related to the specific circumstances of the region. Overall, Beijing's second-hand housing market cannot hold on any longer. The number of second-hand housing listings has surged, and housing prices have also shown a significant downward trend. Regarding the surge in second-hand housing, the government will introduce some policies to stabilize it. In the property market, for example, not long ago, some cities announced the implementation of a house purchase and trade-in policy. This is also to speed up the transaction of second-hand houses and solve the increasing pain points of second-hand house owners. Liquidity in the property market can help the property market gradually return to stability. I don't know what opinions you all have. You are welcome to leave a message in the comment area for discussion. I look forward to your wonderful comments.